The University of the East, I was hired in 2006 after I retired from UP. I was surprised that they had a research policy which said if you do research, you only teach 12 units instead of 24, and you get paid 30 units. So I said to myself, why aren't people doing research? And very few knew this, and also nobody was there to push. So when I got on board, I did two things. Every year, I ran a 3-day seminar workshop on research capability building. I invited people from the NRCP, from UP, to do a program that I ran, how to make research proposals, etc., up to the end. We had lecturers. Next, I ran, after the first semester, the second semester, writing your thesis and dissertations into publishable articles. Another 3 days. Of course, still they did not do it. So then I entered into the policy arena of the university. I'm not supposed to be a dean, so I shouldn't do anything, but we have a president who came also from UP. So we put out a policy that henceforth, if you want to be promoted, you may be the best teacher according to teaching evaluation, but if you don't have X number of points for published research, then your maximum points will only go this far. So now they're scrambling to do research, to publish, because they will not be promoted. But many people, of course, hate me for this. But the sweetener is, if you get published, we also got the Board of Trustees to approve our budget. You get published locally, institutionally, 10,000 per article. If it's national journal, 20,000. Online refereed, 30,000. Online ISI and so on, 50,000. We copied UP and did better. We did not put any...
Wala pa yata tayong ganun Parang gusto ko yun
Wala kayong refereed online, ano? Amin yun. So I said to the board, don't worry, there are still very few people who can apply for this. And lo and behold, to my surprise, when the policy came out, 10 people applied. My goodness, I said. So after that, people began to come to my office. Before, nobody came to my office. My office is called Office of Research Coordination. So I am the pusher, not the drug pusher.
Research pusher.
Yes, so it's a very tedious work. And now, the universities around also put up a consortium for research. And last year, the DOST, we convinced the DOST to fund a research project on the Pasig River, connected to the Pasig River problem, which is water testing the quality of waters in the estero. It got funded, we finished the project, I published it in the University Belt Research Journal, which I also edited. Now I am doing the second issue. We have a second year funding of the project. So you really need to have a pusher. The problem is we also need to convince CHED.
We need the big pusher.
To be the big pusher.
The mother of all pushers.
Yes, so the only problem now is, as you said, they're requiring all universities to do research and to publish their research. You see, we have to help CHED think, because this is their way of thinking, of encouraging universities in the private sector to upgrade their standards. And I must say, this should also be done to the SUCs. Baka akala ng mga SUCs, special sila. No. They should also compete for the funds. It's really a big problem because you have congressmen whose favorite pastime is to pass a law converting the high school in their province to become a state university. And then the next day, they changed the shingles from elementary school to university as if it changed the whole situation. That we have been fighting for. During the time of President Estrada, we convinced him to sign an executive order which we in the CHED and the technical panel drafted, that he will veto any bill that converts a high school into a university. But after he was out of power, the next president, the first thing she did was sign into law 6 laws converting high schools into universities. So that's the problem with this country. I'm sorry, it's like washing dirty linen in public, but we have to assess this situation.
Mamaya yung washing machine na labas natin. Para mabilis.
So anyway, this is what I want to say. And then of course, being visible externally, yes, because that's also one way of getting research funds coming in to this country, Scopus and ISI. But we have to really work very hard. And I keep telling people, well, you have to work because I have got a few years left. You know, thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing that with us. Siguro they hate you at the beginning, but they love you at the end. Okay. And may I also add, I have 2 raising their hands. May I also like to share and add to what Mr. Beasley said about aligning research with the publication. And Cora is only half of OBCRD. The other half is Henry Ramos, PMRGO. And a few years ago, we adopted a policy that if you're gonna submit, if you have a grant and you're gonna submit a report, if you have a publication already that's reviewed, you don't have to submit a report anymore. So it encourages. We want to encourage the research output to be translated into publishable outputs. Yes, I have. Yes, please introduce yourself. Si Arman, no? Affiliation, please. Name and affiliation.
Good morning, Arman Guidote, Ateneo de Manila. 2 things, no? Regarding time for writing down dissertations or thesis, is it possible for CHED and the TOST convert the honorarium into time to pay the university for not teaching?
That's an idea.
Kasi right now it's an honorarium and it's, it cannot be used for paying for time. Number 2,
may pera, no? That's just the purpose.
And actually, most researchers ignore honorarium. It's so small. Number 2, we have scholars, no? Graduate students, CHED scholars. Instead of them concentrating into research, they concentrate about where to get their money for food, for boarding house, because CHED is not able to release the allowance on time. I hope something can be done about that.
Okay.
DOST also down.
Is that a question? Do you have
Those are the 2 questions.
would you like to comment or reply?
Well, okay. I'm not French yet, so I'm going to answer that. Don't you know that even my budget for 2010 was still not released until now? So I cannot answer for that.
Okay, ako maingat lang ako dyan kasi ako rin minsan mabagal ako mag-release ng pera. So, hindi rin ako nagpupunta sa ganyan.
Yeah, okay. I think it's a call for innovative thinking. What's happening?
That's a good idea also.
We're coming up with a lot of problems. We need to solve this in the way that we don't solve problems like in the past. We need for something new, novel thinking about our problems, because things are not being produced the way they should be. I put that suggestion already. Instead of giving monthly honorarium to researchers, if we want to help the Philippines or even higher educational institutions in the Philippines to be productive in terms of research, you give them only the honorarium plus after they have published the results of the research, which you have funded. That would be much better. Rather than giving 5 million to this and 5 million to that, or 10 million to this, and they give this voluminous work, and they come up again with another proposal for the next project, and this one will sleep in laboratories or in their offices without being shared, without being disseminated. You know, publication is a part of a scholar's or researcher's life. You have to be published internationally, not only for local. You need to be critiqued. That's a part of your professional growth. Yeah, you have to be a part of the international family to be critiqued. And that has a big impact on your growth as a scientist, a social scientist, or as a researcher. So we have to go out. But of course, the challenge now here is, if we can come up with journals that can be a part of the international group of journals, maganda sana. So that's a big challenge for us. And we're giving here